Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kensington Conversations. I am your host, Kyra, and thank y'all for tuning in tonight. We just gonna get this party started because we're a little late, a little discombobulated, a little something, but we got it together. So let's bring on the good old deacon.
Deacon in the house.
You don't want to be in the house. What's going on, Deke?
All is well. How are
All
you?
is, all is well that ends well.
No, all is well is period.
It's all right. It is all right. As y'all can see, Mr. Roshan is not here today. He's out. He is out there in the world saving lives. So he is at fire. He may pop in. He may not pop in. Who knows with Sean? But he isn't here tonight. So y'all gotta suffer with me and Derek, and that's
He's
okay.
either saving lives or killing crabs.
Tonight's topic is intimacy beyond sex. And I think, Derek, look up the word intimacy and let's bust up that definition.
Are you frozen?
Am I what?
Are you frozen?
No, I'm not frozen. I told you to bust it out.
Bust out what?
Oh, the definition for intimacy. Are we not paying attention?
I heard. I'm like, you want me to look it up? That's what you're saying. Why would I look it up? Why would I?
Yeah.
Why you ain't tell me that before the show so I can have it already queued up?
Well, today is not a regular day.
Mm.
Today is not a regular day. Okay. Okay.
Kiki Waka.
Kiki Walker.
What's that smell? It's on your shoe. Kiki Waka.
But better yet, let's go into one of the videos that might give us a better
Listen
definition.
closely and take note. People think that intimacy is about sleeping together, but true intimacy goes far beyond the physical. It's about sharing your deepest fears, insecurities, and vulnerabilities with someone who embraces you without judgment, someone who holds your heart gently in their hands. Real intimacy is when you can open up your innermost thoughts, your pain, your past, and your trauma to another person, knowing that they will listen with empathy and understanding. It's when you can reveal the broken pieces of your soul and they respond with kindness and love. Intimacy is when you find a safe haven in someone's presence, a place where you can be your authentic self without fear of rejection. It's when you can stand in front of them, stripped of pretenses, and they reassure you with those magical words, "You're safe with me." So cherish those who offer you real intimacy, for they are the ones who will stand by your side through life's highs and lows, reminding you that you are never alone on this beautiful and sometimes challenging journey.
All right, so there you
Beautiful.
have it. Shut up, Derek. That is basically the definition of intimacy, which I hope we all have experienced some type of intimacy at some point in our in our lives. Derek, what's your definition of intimacy?
Intimacy is vulnerability.
I can't hear you, Derek.
I said intimacy is vulnerability. It's a willingness and openness to be vulnerable. You heard me?
I thought you had more to say.
That's all I needed.
I thought it was something else coming with that.
No, that was all that was needed. Drop that
Okay,
off right there.
so you as a man, do you feel like you have experienced intimacy for yourself, not giving it but getting it?
Uh, Interesting. Probably not.
No.
I don't believe that men. I don't believe that men get to experience intimacy at the levels that women get to experience it.
Why not?
Because y'all don't care.
Why you say we don't care?
So you don't.
You gonna have to elaborate on y'all don't care because I'm not understanding. Because
Y'all
that's not
don't care.
true. When we do care.
No.
Yeah.
Women have. Women have. Some women have or have a in their mind already an idea what intimacy look like, and because it looks like that in their head, they don't subscribe to anything else. So long as you're touching base and hitting that point, those points for her intimacy, they're all as well.
Okay, so as a man, you don't feel as though you can express that so you can also have some type of intimacy, or you just go ahead
You
and
can
be
express
like, it is what it is, and I'm just
right.
gonna roll with it.
You just roll with it. Keep it moving.
And you feel like that's okay?
Mm-hmm. That's
Why?
right. The life is full of these moments.
Huh?
The, the Bible tells us
The Bible.
is to give me strength to understand the things I can change and to know the difference. That's serenity prayer, right?
That's a serenity prayer, yeah.
So things like the things I know I can't change, I leave it in God's hands
But why can't you change it if you
because you
if
can't
you
change women.
openly? Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, but you can't. But you still. But so you trying to say? Okay, you can say that you can't change women, but you can still change their outcome of intimacy. If that's something that you desire, shouldn't you voice that?
It's not worth. Sometimes not worth the pain.
What pain? And voicing how you feel? What pain? I'm trying so hard to understand.
The pain and expectancy of saying, okay, I told you this, and you're still not doing it.
Mm. Okay.
So a lot of times you choose not to deal with the pain. You choose not to deal with the not the quote unquote nonsense. And you just leave it as it was. You accept it for what it is. That for the most part, you may not ever experience intimacy in its truest form. Intimacy at your level of intimacy, but as long as you shoot the aim for um, what her levels are, That's what you do with life.
That's crazy business. And that shit sounds diabolical. And it doesn't sound like it's a happy. It's not something that it doesn't seem like that brings happiness. Because how can you give it but not receive it? Especially if you want it. That's just crazy to me.
Mm.
I'm not yeah, that's not sounding right to me.
It's not about what it sounds right. It's about just what it is. And you may run into a lot of people who say, "Oh no, I believe in this," and I'm. It's very much. It's very much. Um, I'm a giver, so I'm gonna make sure my person. I hear my person. I know I want them to hear this. But a lot of times, that's not true. It just sound good coming out your mouth.
Okay, I think that's very negative of you, but okay, we're gonna go into one more little clip.
One thing that I really crave as an introverted black man is that soft and intimate love from a woman. I think one of the reasons why I crave that soft and intimate love from a woman is because, for one, I spend so much time alone by myself. And yes, I love myself, but I'm human at the end of the day, and I'm allowed to want to feel loved by someone else. Two, I feel like I've never had that place where I can be super vulnerable and let my guard down. And lastly, I crave that softness because of how fragile my spirit and my soul is. And just having a woman who cares about how I feel about life, and who cares about how my day went, and who cares about how my mental health is. One who speaks to me with respect and who speaks to me softly and gently. I crave that shit.
Alrighty then. So you get to none of that.
What do you mean? He said the same thing. He just said the same thing I said.
You get none of that.
What do you mean?
You don't. Your person doesn't care about how your day is. She doesn't make sure that you're good. She doesn't do any of those things.
Of course.
All right, then that's a form of intimacy.
I said the truest form of intimacy. I ain't asked for a form of intimacy. Everything you get.
Then
Everything.
what's the truest form of intimacy for me?
It's all different.
But what is yours?
You don't just offer that kind of information out.
What's up, Miss? What's up, Irene? Hey, Ivy. Hey, Carla. What happened?
I said you don't just offer that kind of information out. Like he said, it's a place of vulnerability. I'm not gonna be out here. I'm not gonna be out here talking about my vulnerability to you. And
you're not vulnerable with the person that you're with. I'm just trying to understand.
The brother to be nice to you. I said vulnerability. Nobody's gonna come out and speak on vulnerability or their vulnerabilities on camera. Like who's doing it? Because I'm not. I ain't signing up for that.
So you don't get vulnerability with your person? Are you vulnerable with your person?
To a certain extent.
Lord, I cannot, I will not, and I shall not. All right, people that are tuned in with us tonight. Y'all tell me what y'all feel as though how y'all feel about intimacy beyond sex. Because to me, I feel like intimacy is just that closeness that you have, the little things that is done throughout the day. Anything that make you closer to your partner, that's intimacy to me.
Interesting.
Huh?
I said interesting.
Why is
I can't say that's beyond.
Huh?
Because I can't say that's beyond. I think beyond intercourse, means that it got to be something that's far greater. And a lot of times, you're talking about like, oh, if I send you a text message doing work, or if I call you on lunch, or I bring you flowers. Like, yes, that's a certain level of intimacy that may be loved and adored.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what doesn't that lead into something else or something deeper? Doesn't that lead into a physical piece? Like how many people know how to
Well,
love beyond?
sometimes intimacy will lead to physical, and sometimes it doesn't, because you could be intimate with somebody just by if you laying down on the bed together watching a movie, cuddling, hugging, all of that.
Right. And then he kiss you on your forehead and now all your clothes off.
That doesn't always have to happen though.
Hmm.
You could just be satisfied with the hugging and the cuddling, because that's still a form of intimacy. You could
Right.
be okay with that, or you can get deeper with it. I mean, everybody's level of intimacy, of course, is different, but it doesn't always have to end up with your clothes falling off. We could lay in the bed, we could chill, be hugging, cuddling, whatever. Get my little forehead kiss. I'm good to go to sleep. It don't have to be physical after that.
Hmm. But what happens when it does become that? What if intimacy to your person is that? And now you say, well, I wanted to be beyond intercourse. I wanted to be beyond. This is what I'm talking about. Always comes down to
It's
what.
still nothing wrong. It's still nothing wrong with, because you're receiving what you want to receive as far as intimacy is concerned. And if his form of intimacy, if it's just physical intimacy, then so be it. Are you not gonna do it?
Sure, why not?
So it's like, so is as long
You do
it's
what you gotta do to do what you want to do.
it's a give and take situation.
See,
You know what, Irene? I'm done. You just fresh. But it doesn't always have to end that way. Like I said, for me, we did a poll on hey Dre, what's good? We did a poll on our Candid Conversations page. And on the poll, let me go on there. On the poll, we asked about the different types of intimacy, like what is intimacy to our viewers. And it was 5 different types of intimacy, which one was emotional intimacy, sharing deep feelings, vulnerability, empathy, and mutual understanding. Then you had intellectual intimacy, which is connecting through shared ideas, deep conversations, and exploring new concepts together. Recreational intimacy, bonding through shared activities, adventures, or simply enjoying time doing things you both love.
hmm
Physical, non sexual intimacy, which is affectionate touch, love, like hugs, holding hands, cuddling, or a comforting presence. And then spiritual intimacy, connecting over shared values, beliefs, or a sense of purpose and meaning. So those are basically the 5 tiers of intimacy. And a lot of people just, they pick more than one. Um, yeah, they picked more than one. And it shows that everybody just has all these different types of levels of intimacy. Some of them like all does all the above. So it just I think depends on the person and what you're willing to give to the other person. But it doesn't have to be one sided, like a man doing all the giving and the woman is doing getting all the receiving and the man gets nothing. That's not intimacy because that's not one person is being satisfied and the other person isn't. So I don't think that that has to be the case. What do you think?
I think there are many levels to intimacy, but there's only the basic two levels that we people want to touch:
Which is
physical intimacy and verbal.
so emotional,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yep.
So when you are doing something with your other person, you plan a date or whatever, that's not a form of intimacy for you and her, or is that just for her?
It might be just for her. It depends on what you hold or what people think is intimacy, or they count as intimacy. Because some people can honestly, some people can say, "Oh no, that's not intimate. That's just you can't fight them until they agree."
That is that's intimate to me. If you plan a date and we go out on a date together and we do whatever, we could say it could be a picnic or something. It's an intimate setting for the both of us, not just for one of us. Jesus. All right, Irene says forehead kisses, deep conversations, ice cream dates, cooking together, praying together, flowers and lunch dates, going to church for worship, hanging in the park, movie dates, mall runs, traveling together, giving massages. It goes deeper, of course. But those are all forms of intimacy
Hmm.
that I'm pretty sure she likes and can reciprocate that. Am I wrong? Because isn't intimacy
Right,
about
but that's what I'm saying. Those are her versions of intimacy that she will reciprocate because in her head that's what intimacy is. But has anybody ever stopped and asked their male person, "Hey, what is intimacy to you? What does intimacy look like? How, if I wanted to be intimate with you, how would that look?"
okay? So Irene, have you ever asked your husband what intimacy looks like for him?
Nope.
Because Derek just with the guy is one sided, and I don't think that it is.
It is.
I mean, I have, it's not. I have asked. What I ask and whatever you tell me is what you shall receive. Because I'm not stingy and I'm not selfish. I'm a giver. I'm not just a taker. And I think too, anyway, as a woman, you will feel some type of way that you always receiving and not giving.
Really? One woman is always feeling the same way about that.
I would feel some type of way about it.
Sure.
Regardless of what you may think, I would feel some type of way if I'm always receiving, and I'm never giving anything back. I would feel some type of way about that. And I would have to check myself.
Interesting.
I can't with you.
Is it? Wait.
Can I do that? I think the background is too light.
What background?
On the thing. I think I need to. I'm playing around with stuff. So
It's hot. It's hot.
Yeah, it is hot today. It's hot and it's humid. So is intimacy something that men should just forget about? Don't ask for it. Just settle.
Say that again?
Should men just forget about intimacy and just settle for what they get?
Now you shouldn't settle because you should always hold true to what you feel is intimacy is, but don't lose sleep over it if you don't receive it.
Okay. L Boogie says a look or conversation could all be forms of intimacy. It all depends on how you take it and where you take it. All right.
Where you trying to take it? Where you trying to take it?
I like that. And welcome, L Boogie. Thanks for tuning in. I can agree with that. I think that for me anyway, I love deep conversations. I love anybody that could get in my head. That right there is like top tier for me. But
she was like, "Oh my God, are you in my head? Oh my goodness."
No, that's top tier. If you can hold a conversation and you can spark my intellect, that's a beautiful thing because that's very hard to do.
Understandable.
A lot of people can't do that. Everything is always surface. But those deep intellectual conversations, I love them. Love them. You could do that every single day. You'll be getting it every single day.
L Boogie.
All right, peoples. Derek, you all right today?
I'm hot. This living room is like burning. And because I'm on the show, I can't take my shirt off.
Lord have mercy. Oh gosh. Well, this topic did belong to one of our viewers. Her name is Kamisha. She was supposed to be on here tonight, but unfortunately, she wasn't able to show up. So, I think that we're going to table intimacy beyond sex, and we're going to just bank it into a part 2 for next week. And we'll get back at y'all next week. Same time, same place. And we'll see y'all next Tuesday. Hopefully on time.
What?
Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace and love.
What?